Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on Periscope and YouTube. This is the Birds Forever Mobb podcast. I'm your host, BG, brought to you by Workhorse Athletics, the one that gets the job done at all costs. I always have somebody, one or two people with me. Usual suspects. KP.
What's up?
What's up, Wes?
What's good, fam?
Before we get started, just letting you know that on our iTunes and Spotify podcast, we want to thank Mr. T Bobby for the beautiful intro music. If you want to follow him on IG at T_Bobby, BOBBY_94. And just to let everybody know, this show is dedicated in the memory of Kobe and Gianna Brown, who lost their lives with 7 others 1 year ago today. So we love you. Kobe's one of my favorite players, as everybody else knows. And yeah, this show is dedicated to them. So we got a new head coach. The Philadelphia Eagles has a new head coach. Y'all know who he is?
Kind of, sort of.
Thanks to Google, yes, finally.
Google. So what if Google wasn't around? Would you know who he is?
Absolutely not. But like, are we surprised?
Does he have a Wikipedia?
Now
Yeah.
That's just like 4 days old.
Man, listen, when I first read it, like, we were interviewing everybody. We were interviewing you heard we were about to interview the janitor, we were interviewing Deuce, we were interviewing Todd Bowles, Josh McDaniels, like, and then this name comes out of nowhere, and I'm just like, okay. Like, what's the word? Like, where does this come from? Because I ain't never heard of him. Mm-hmm. And to me, like, people ask, are you happy? Am I sad? Am I mad? I don't know what to think at this point. Like, I have no clue what to think, because it seems to me like they're reaching. And let me explain to you why. We knew that coming when Andy was hired. Nobody knew who Andy was. You know what I mean? He was quarterbacks coach at Green Bay, I believe, under Holmgren, and nobody knew who he was. So he got hired or whatever. 13 years with us, winning his coaching Eagles history probably. And we all know what happened. He got fired. Okay, bring in Chip. Maybe Howie, maybe Lurie was like, okay, well, let's bring in some new blood. The hottest thing in college, Chip Kelly. He gets fired 2-3 years later. So then you go get Doug Peterson. So to me, that was saying, hey, the only thing you knew while winning was Andy. So since we can't get Andy back, let's go ahead and get Andy's understudy. Pretty much, you still got Andy players, Andy coaches, etc. So now that Doug's gone, and we all know who the mastermind behind the Super Bowl year was, Frank Wright. You can't get Frank Wright, but you get the next best thing. You go get his offensive coordinator. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like, it just seems like they had no idea what they were doing. I mean, what y'all think?
I mean, as far as like the hire, it came out of nowhere, like you said. We interviewed everybody in the book, like, okay, Josh McDaniels, okay, we know his resume, we get it. Joe Smo down the street, we get his resume, we get it. But then he comes, he interviewed, we liked him, he's hired. Like, wait a minute. And like you said, Wikipedia, hold on, okay, this is his background. It could be a bad hire, it could be a good hire, just like the Doug thing.
I mean,
just like Doug, we didn't know. So now it's to the point where we have to see if, okay, year one, like Doug, what were we, 7-9? And then, okay, year two, now, all right, you got to get it done. So we'll probably know year 2.
Yeah. KP?
No, I mean, I agree. I think, it was kind of grandstandy of Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman to bring all of these different guys in. And, they kind of fooled us because this was taking so long. And, a lot of great head coach hires, got taken out from under us. Like the Jets got the guy from San Francisco. His name is escaping me at this time. that we all talked about really wanting. We interviewed Eric Bieniemy.
Bieniemy.
There it is. I know.
Just call him EB.
Right. So, like, we had these blockbuster folks come in, and we had a lot of chat about Lincoln Riley, and all of that was great. But it's like then we come up with Josh McDaniels and this guy, and those were like our 2 finalists. Like it just feels like grandstandy and stupid. Additionally, BG, I think you make a really good point about coaching trees and how we had originally gone with Andy and with Doug, and being in the Andy Reid coaching tree is very popular right now, as we know, i.e. Doug Peterson, i.e. Matt Nagy. All of that is huge. If we were going to continue to try to repeat history, we should have just went with EB, and we should have just waited until the Chiefs were done with their championship run to go after him. I don't know why we picked up Frank Reich's little brother from because literally besides him having a background in wide receivers and quarterbacks, and it's like, maybe let's go get a real QB coach. Maybe let's go get a real wide receivers coach. Maybe let's go get some real wide receivers. Like we just always make more problems for ourselves because we are like trying to fix other problems,
I'm like I said, I'm just watching as a fan at this point. If you ask me, am I happy about it? I'm not going to tell you yes. If you ask me, am I mad about it? I'm not going to tell you yes because I don't know what's what at this time. And it brought up the narrative that okay, yeah, he was a wide receivers coach and he was a quarterback coach, but he's never called plays. So people try to weigh that against why not Deuce? Because Deuce has never called plays either. I get it. I get why people are mad because Deuce has been there forever. My whole thing is with that is I would love to have you guys know I love Deuce, but I am at the point where it's like I just need everybody from Angie's coaching tree gone. I've seen that movie already. I've seen 3 straight plays on 3 straight plays on first, second, and third down. No run the ball. You know what I mean? So maybe it might be a good thing. I'll say this. Maybe we can just come up with some pros and cons. You know what I mean? Why it may be good, why it may not be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I had one. I mean, it's a new system. We all know Frank Reich likes to run the ball. And as you saw when he was here, we had LeGarrette Blount, Corey Clement, Sproles, as well. And then as he gets hired in Indianapolis, Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, what's the other guy's name? Is it Hines?
Yes.
He had
a breakout year this year.
Right. So I'm hoping that we get to run the ball. Another pro that I was sitting there thinking of, the new hire for the defensive coordinator, and I've heard this guy pretty much has been well sought out, was Jonathan Gannon, the Colts old DB coach. And thank you, Corey. And yeah, it's a cover 2 base, 4-3 front. And he brings up a lot of philosophy from Mike Zimmer, which is that double A gap, which I'm very excited to see. So that to me, I know that Mike Zimmer liked to play a lot of press corner, and that's one of Darius Slay's best attributes, as well as we're going to actually have real linebackers. We're going to get linebackers for Christmas. Possibly.
Let's hope so.
You know what I mean? So and then I think the last thing for me that I thought about was two things actually. As you can see, he's picking his own staff, something that Doug was never able to do. And then him being a wide receiver coach in the past, hopefully that puts some stuff in the air where the draft will be his and not Howie's, and one of those wide receivers falls to us, and for the picking, Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase.
I mean,
those
are the blatant. Obviously, that's where you go if they're there at number 6. It's that simple. That's where you go. One of those 2. But knowing us, we may panic and trade back. Just knowing us.
Yeah, but then the cons, like I said, he never called plays. We seen this system before, but it's uncertain because it's not run by the same guy we saw it from. You know what I mean? And then is how are we gonna let him draft his own people? There you go. You know what I mean? Share your thoughts. The floor is yours, man.
I mean, I can start off with what I know, and that's Jonathan Gannon. So great, you know what I'm saying, coach, as from what I've known of him. But if you look at it, they were third in the league in interceptions last year in Indy, based off of his secondary.
Mm-hmm.
We were 30th. I think we had 8 total interceptions last year. Oh, yeah. We played 16 games, so there's not even one a game. So if he can bring that philosophy to the defensive side of the ball and we actually get turnovers in the secondary, hey, more power to you. Welcome aboard, bro. It's that simple.
Yeah.
As far as the head coaching goes, didn't know much about him. Always willing to give you a chance. If you run the ball, you win it with me. It's that simple.
Let me ask you this question, not to cut you off. But do you think that the same philosophy how Frank ran? You know, Frank had LeGarrette Blount here, that big bruiser back. He had Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis. Do you think there's a possibility that a back will be picked in the draft this year, possibly someone bigger than Miles Sanders?
So you know I think that's probably the formula that he wants as far as drafting. I'm not sure what backs are going to be available for us to draft. As far as a bruiser, and also we can look in free agency to see who we have also.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely need other backs that are bigger than Miles Sanders. Like, we can't be running Boston Scott on the 1 yard line, like a 4th and inches, that type of thing. Like,
we might as well put KP in there.
Exactly. The days of running Darren Sproles on 4th and short and he breaks for 40 yards are over. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell the Eagles organization that, but like Darren Sproles was good for 4th and inches, 3rd and inches. Next thing you know, he took it to the house 40 yards. I get it. Boston Scott is not that. Miles Sanders is not a bruiser. It's that simple. So 1, 2, 3 punch. That's what we need.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, KP?
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like I'm kind of putting off the vibe. This is all a mixed bag. I think it'd be really great for us to play more press corner. I mean, I think it's really telling that our, defensive superstar Darius Slay last year, his first INT was week 14? I think it'll be really huge to get some more INTs, really get, more turnovers and really get, that feeling of intensity and that pressure on the back end, because we've focused so much over the past few years on our defensive front. And I think that that's great. But with all of these aging stars that we have, BG, Fletch, we're going to need more support on the back end. So I really want to see that focus from our, defensive coordinator. Additionally, I mean, with my man, Nick, not Nikki Six. Listen, I mean, I feel like not
wait a minute.
More like 5, okay? I don't know. I just I want to believe that, we do need new blood and we do need kind of this fresh look, but I feel like, I kind of came of age during the Chip Kelly era, and I've kind of seen.
Oh, you're a baby.
I am a baby.
Look at the little cheeks. Oh.
I'm going to punch both of you in the face. Anyway, I don't know. So I think I'm once bitten, twice shy. With that being said, listen, we really need support on our wide receiver and quarterback back end. I don't know how much there is to say about Carson liking this guy and picking this guy, but I think we all know that if there's any hope of saving Carson Wentz, I'm in on this dude. Hans, my man, has never called a play in his life. I've probably called more plays for my dad's Pop Warner teams. Let's be real.
Oh my God.
I want to see what he's got, but it is really hard to watch us have to let go of Deuce because he didn't have the same amount of experience,
Right. Yeah.
And I know. Go ahead. I'm sorry, BG.
No, you good. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
No, I mean, I know that's kind of just my sentimentality. And again, me thinking back on just the history of our organization over the last 20 years. But, I think you can say that Eagles fans are some of the most sentimental in the NFL. We talk all the time about how we bring back, Jason Peters, Darren Sproles, Jordan Matthews, all of the goddamn time. The sentimentality that we have always applied to players and to an extent front office positions apparently doesn't extend to Deuce. And I guess I'm just really upset about that. And I hope this new guy from a similar system assimilates and makes us more successful going forward. But I think you guys are right. It might take a year or 2 or 3 for us to really see those results.
Speaking of Jason Peters,
Okay.
he said he want to come back.
To who?
Huh?
To who?
Twitter.
Exactly.
He wasn't talking to me.
Next subject.
He was talking to y'all too, not me.
Listen, man. The bodyguard, whatever the hell you want to call yourself, nah, bro.
Look, all I want him to come. He can sell hot dogs for all I care, as long as he don't get the fuck on the field no more. I'm fine.
Bro, look, just give it up. You're first ballot Hall of Famer, second at worst. Give it up, bro.
Well, okay. So, folks who are watching, you probably already follow us on Twitter. But so BG tweeted, and I thought it was hilarious. I tweeted back at BG, and I go, "This you?" And it's a picture of JP on the oxygen mask. Yeah. JP, come catch your girl at the Renegade on Sundays. We'll talk.
Hey, listen. I hate the fact that when people talk about JP and him being so old. And
we the same age, bro.
Yeah, we're the same age. I'm the same age as Jason Peters.
Okay, but you're not going to play like NFL offensive line.
Come on, man. Like in football years, this man is elderly, like AARP. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to translate. I'm like, that motherfucker's the same age as me. What the fuck? I don't know, man. I just, I hope for the best. It's gonna be real interesting, especially when it comes to draft time. And honestly, like I see there's stories out there that are saying about free agency, how a lot of free agents from the Colts may come and play with Nicky Sirianni. Siri, I need whatever his name is. I don't know. Yeah. But
Baby Frank, just call him Baby Frank.
I'm just gonna call him Nick.
Okay.
Baby Frank West.
Baby Frank. I'm calling Baby Frank.
Oh my god. But like, there's a possibility where T.Y. Hilton may make his way over to Philly. Marlon Mack's a free agent this year. It's strong possibility. So pay attention to the free agent look too. Especially and that's if our general manager, if she can go ahead and fix the cap.
Hey, girl.
If she can fix the cap, then maybe we might have to bring some people and then get all the elderly, put them in the senior citizens home, get them off our roster.
See, and that's the thing. Like, we've been look at the Sproles of the world. Like, we've been getting off the roster, but we've been putting them into the retirement home and giving them fake positions. We give them fake positions on the team and like, okay, here's your retirement plan. Come join us. Like, what are you doing besides collecting the check, bro?
I can't call it. I also think, I feel like maybe, I'm getting off topic a little bit, but, we're talking about free agent running backs. We're talking a lot about drafting wide receivers. Guys, there's a lot of great wide receivers out there that are going to be free agents this offseason. Juju Smith-Schuster's 24, Chris Godwin's 25, Will Fuller's trying to get the hell out of Texas. He's 27. I mean, I really think we could go get people on deals.
I don't want Will Fuller. He's still suspended. He can't leave the weed alone.
I mean, it'd
be calling them.
But I also don't. Now we're really getting off on a tangent. I don't think it's fair that the NFL just keeps changing its mind on marijuana policy. Free my man Josh Gordon, okay? Stop suspending him and unsuspending him. It's too much.
But Josh, his whole thing is he'll get suspended for the weed, but then once you get in that, that protocol or whatever you want to call it, he can't even have a sip of alcohol. So him having a sip of champagne fucks that all up. So he can stop smoking weed, but he's got to stop drinking too.
Mm-hmm. That is a good question, though. Corey, are the Colts behind Michael Pittman as a number one if T.Y. leaves? Yeah. I haven't seen enough of him, to be honest with you, to answer your question, man.
But is T.Y. even the number one anymore also? So
if he comes here, he doesn't have to be.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't really have to be if you come here, but that leads to the question of, say he does come here. Okay. Say Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase come here too. You still got last year's number one pick, Jalen Reagor, on the squad as well. So what do? You got three. You have a veteran. You have the number 1 pick from last year and the number 1 pick from this year.
I can't believe you just take a Whiteside.
Don't forget about JJ. I mean, we got JJ. Come on now, think about it
so much.
We got a wide receiver expert. He about to fix JJ. What you talking about? Let's go.
Wide receiver back.
Exactly.
BG's like, I hate these fuckers.
That's just my look of disgust.
Oh.
I can't stand that. Can't stand to look at him. Can't stand his name. And every time I hear his name, I just see that picture of his mama there holding the umbrella over his dumbass head, looking like a fucking idiot. I can't. Like, I please don't mention his name in my presence. Like, I've never, and Wes to tell you, I've never hated players, but he's just
like hate his face, like his little stupid baby face.
He needs to be working at 7-Eleven, turning the hot dogs over or something. You know?
Oh my gosh, that's not even a job.
Or fixing the tacos or some shit. Inside joke.
Yeah, I know, right? Happy birthday, Chris.
So moving on, because these Eagles are driving us crazy, man. We want to talk about a topic that KP presented to me yesterday. These old school quarterbacks versus these new school quarterbacks. You have a list of young quarterbacks, exciting quarterbacks who we just like to watch, and then you still have the old changing of the guard. Well, I think it's only maybe two with Rodgers and Brady. Is there anybody else in that list right now?
I mean, I think we still have to pour one out for Drew Brees. No, he's not dead, but his arm strength definitely is.
Listen, Maga Brees can kiss my ass.
I mean, I guess I just wanted to speak to, how quarterbacks are aging in this league and how they're staying in for so much longer. Like, I know Aaron Rodgers was quoted today on saying, yeah, I don't know, my arm's fine. Like, I see no reason to stop playing. I'm just going to keep playing. And you know what? If he can just keep throwing to Devontae Adams, like, it's literally like, it's like the meme. It's like, oh shit, Devontae's got to be out there somewhere. If they can keep putting up these numbers, like, hell yeah, go win the division over and over again. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll accept that long as, the coach goes for it on 4th and goal with 2 minutes left.
Man, listen, if you go for it with 2 minutes left, or a little over 2 minutes left with 3 timeouts, you go for it. Okay, they're still pinned in inside the 5-yard line. What are you doing? Like,
I totally agree with that, Corey. I do. And I also feel the same way about Eli. Eli should not have picked up a ball for his last 3 years. That was a disservice to himself, his legacy, and the New York Giants. But
he had to pay bills.
What?
He had to pay bills. You ever seen a boxer when they go in the ring unnecessarily after their prime is over with? He's like the Roy Jones of football.
You think I didn't see
Y'all must have forgot. Hey, put some respect on Roy Jones. Y'all must have forgot.
You're absolutely right. Eli should have put the ball. I mean, even shit. Peyton should have put the shit down his last year. Let's be real. The only reason he got to that damn Super Bowl was because of Von Miller and that defense.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cam was afraid to pick up the fumble.
I was about to say Cam doing some bullshit in the Super Bowl.
Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I love these new age quarterbacks. Y'all know I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback in the league right now. Don't tell me anything different. But this year, Josh Allen grew on me. Very much so. Josh Allen grew on me. I already liked Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's one of my guys. I love Lamar. Lamar is a hell of a quarterback. These young guys coming out now, like, and I could honestly say 2017, Carson was in that list too. We don't know what's going on with Carson right now, but he's in that category too at one point. So now, do we put Russell Wilson in that category as new school or old school?
He's a tweener because like he's a throwback to the old school toughness, in my opinion. So he's a tweener, and so and that's how
cut it, Art. I'm sorry, you guys.
Oh no. I mean, I was just literally going to say he's just a tweener because the way I think of old school quarterbacks is toughness, like pretty much their career ended because they didn't got a million concussions. That's why their career is done versus the new school where everything is geared to protect the quarterback. But go ahead, KP.
No, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. Like, I think that the old guard is very much kind of this tough in the trenches, trying to stay behind their pocket even when it collapses, like those tough kind of guys. Like, I think of Big, and I think of, Peyton Manning, obviously Tom Brady, but I think it's really interesting that not only are these younger quarterbacks coming out and they're so much more agile, but we're really seeing, the revitalization of running quarterbacks. And I think Russ is a really great tweener, Wes. Like, you literally took the words out of my mouth, because Russ was the first quarterback to kind of reinvigorate that. And I think going forward that's going to be just like one of the major offensive, I guess you would say spearheads of like a modern quarterback. Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, like we're starting to see it. Just to put things in perspective for you, how long has Tom Brady been in the league? What, 20 years now?
Probably so, yeah.
Tom Brady has
21, I believe, but yeah.
21 years in the league. Tom Brady has 1,043 rushing yards. Guys, Lamar Jackson, you're what, 4? 1,005. You know what I mean? Like, it's so interesting to me to see the game changing. And I'm wondering, part of the reason I wanted to talk about this is everybody is drooling over, Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, and it's great, but how sustainable do we feel like that is,
Yeah.
It just depends. So with that, it's the one thing that Patrick Mahomes has on his side is Andy Reid. You got to have a good coach. And touching on what Corey said, Justin Herbert, man, like, I love Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's that style of quarterback as well, but you have to have the right coach that's going to hone in and keep in mind that you're a quarterback first. Yeah, you could be athletic as hell. These guys you just named, they're athletic as hell. The Deshaun's, the Lamars, the Mahomes, they're athletic as hell, but are they still quarterbacks? You still have to keep your eye down the field. Your job is still supposed to get the ball to the open receiver. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing that Patrick Mahomes got the quarterback whisperer with him.
Exactly. Hey, check this out, though. I got a text message for you, BG. Somebody said Lamar isn't a hell of a quarterback.
Isn't or is?
Isn't.
Who said that?
His name is Gary.
Gary, BG's ready to fight.
No, I mean, hey, he texted me and said, hey, he heard what you said. He said, and he's saying Lamar isn't a hell of a quarterback.
Tell Gary he can't read. Okay.
He's listening, so hey, boom. There you go.
And I'm so glad like Lamar is at the center of this conversation is because, the Ravens more or less struggled this year. A lot of people said Lamar regressed. I disagree wholeheartedly. I just think there's a lot of tape on Lamar, which is exactly what I say, usually 7 to 10 White Claws in is going to start happening to Jalen Hurts. Yeah. So again, it's like, it's an age thing. It's a health thing, but it's also like, you're right. If you don't have Andy Reid and you don't have a quarterback whisperer, how do you defense is figuring your ass out?
Well, you look at the Ravens. You look at the Ravens, though. Their whole offense is based on the run game, whether it's Lamar or whether it's Ingram or whether it's Dobbins, whoever. It's based on the run game. They don't. And I said this a long time ago. The one thing that they need, to be honest with you, is a dog at receiver. Because you saw what happened not this past year, but last year when they were the number 1 seed and Tennessee rode into town that Saturday night and pretty much said, okay, we're gonna stop all the tight ends and we're gonna make the receivers beat us. That's the blueprint on them. I won't say Lamar is not a bad quarterback. I just don't think he has that dog at receiver. And Hollywood is questionable.
And they got Dez. Like, come on now. Dez ain't.
Dez 172 years old.
Exactly. That's my thing.
Like, when he tore his Achilles at Saints practice the year before. Like retire, be done.
You got to, and that's the one thing you look at. I believe in the old philosophy. If you get a young quarterback, you have to get him at least that running back to grow with him and or that receiver to grow with him. If you go back to, and let's just hear me say right this. There. Shit, Pat Mahomes got Tariq Hill. You look at when Deshaun came in the league, he had Nuck. You look at even Justin Herbert had what's his name? I can't think of his damn name. With the beard. What was the receiver of San Diego West? God damn it.
Oh, you talking about
Keenan Allen?
Yeah, light skinned dude.
But even when Matt Ryan came in the league, the second year he was in the league, they traded the house for Julio Jones,
and it worked for him.
Hey, I just got another text. Somebody said that Greg Roman pretty much is having the same thing happen now that he had in San Fran with Cap, as far as, you know what I'm saying, receiver wise and all that.
But they had receivers
in San Fran.
Maybe, but yeah, he had Anquan Bolden, you had Torrey Smith, you had receivers, you even had Vernon Davis at tight end. So like, I mean, Greg Roman's just not a good offensive coordinator. There's that. That answers that question right there. I'm not telling them who to get, but I'm just going to say this: like the younger quarterbacks and shit. Even with Deshaun trying to want to go somewhere, and the rumor is he wants to go to the Jets.
See, I just don't understand shit like that. Like when people are like, "Oh, I want to go to a winning."
Do you know who his OC? Who that OC is?
Is it Doug?
No. So Robert Saleh brought Matt LaFleur's little brother from San Francisco.
You said that last week. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like you got plenty and shit. Corey got a good point. You got so many free agents that's coming out too. Like it's going to be a big year. So you got the Jets have money. So if they want to, they can go get Juju to go with Deshaun and trade. You know what I mean? Or Allen Robinson. You know, shit. Mitchell Trubisky ain't gonna be in Chicago because his ass is a free agent too.
Oh, they didn't extend him?
No, they did not.
Okay.
Can you blame them?
Yeah, like
not at all.
It's gonna be interesting in free agent. Oh. I know one thing. We're gonna be picking from the daggone, you know, the cereal aisle where you got the brand name cereal and the bag down cereal bottom? On the bottom. Yep. We're gonna be picking from the down bottom cereal aisle. Yep. Because we ain't got no money.
Corey,
so we ain't getting Rice Krispies, we getting just rice.
I will give up my firstborn child for any of those receivers. Okay, because Howie's not gonna do shit, so I might as well just like pawn off my children. You can't have my dog though. So
whoa, hold on.
Wait.
You gonna go with the firstborn and the dog?
For two receivers, or you got more than two?
No, I mean, you know, I'd go for like 2 or 3. If we could like guarantee Chris Godwin's health, then we're really talking.
I'm still stuck at you getting up your firstborn, girl.
I don't like kids, so.
Okay, well, there you have it.
Yeah, but not my dog. I'd rather die. So.
Wait a minute.
Allen Robinson, Goodwin.
Wide receivers.
Yeah, there you go. Great value. There you go. The off-brand shit. Hey, it's gonna be interesting. But to touch more back on the topic, they are these new school quarterbacks, man. Listen, if Brady wins the Super Bowl, he might retire, he might not, but it'll be him and Rodgers as like the last of the old regime of quarterbacks. Well, I'm sorry, Big Ben as well.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. I think, you know, if we're going to speculate on Tom Brady's retirement, which everyone kind of is right now, if he wins this whole damn thing, what else does he have to prove? Right? It's, bro, we did it. It was you. It wasn't Bill Belichick. Like, we understand.
And it wasn't, yeah, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean,
just get out of the damn league. Be done.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, roll out. So with that being said, since we talking about Tom Brady, fuck this weekend because Aaron Rodgers was supposed to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm still in my feelings about that situation. But Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, Tampa Bay versus Kansas City. Like, I don't want. I'm tired of seeing the same teams all over again.
I mean, technically, it's ain't the same thing. Same person, though.
Pretty much. I mean,
I feel like there's a lot to be said for what Andy has done repetitively over, you know, so many organizations. Like, he now has hosted 3 AFC championship games, the only other organization in a row, the only other organization in NFL history to host 3 championship games in a row is who? the Philadelphia Eagles under Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that pedigree and that history is huge. And I know, you know, we got our rings before Andy did. So we were pulling for Andy last year. He won it. Now we're like, all right, fuck him. We don't want him to get another one.
No.
It's not even about
choose him over Tom Brady. Go off, Andy. You deserve that.
So I don't even think it's about Andy. For me, it's to the point where, like, okay, clearly it's about to be the whole media. Oh, Brady versus Mahomes, pretty much. Oh, the GOAT versus the up and coming whatever.
Will Brady get 7 rings?
Oh, and it's that, and also, like, I'm not taking nothing away from Mahomes at all. Mahomes is a great talent, but if you look at, you don't even have to look at game film. Just look at one half of football. How many people does he have running wide open all the time? It's not Mahomes. It's the talent around him. That is just an overall great team. You bring in Gus Farrat's of the world, and are they in the Super Bowl? No, but they make the playoffs with that talent. Like it's.
I mean, Shady did get a ring with him last year.
I was about to say, Shady got a ring last year. He might get one this year.
Yeah.
He might get another healthy scratch and get another ring.
Fuck you, Chip Kelly.
No, I mean, yeah. But, you know, I feel like, you know, Wes, you make a great point, and that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier, and I feel like that's why Mahomes is like the GOAT right now. Both of these teams have such great depth, but one of them was built around Mahomes in an organic fashion, more or less, and that's why he has all these great weapons. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady literally picked an NFL team at random and was like, hey, every free agent that's kind of problematic in the NFL, why don't you pull up on this team and come join us to win a Super Bowl? Like,
hey, let me get my old tight end.
Every time EB catches a touchdown pass in a Bucs uniform, part of me dies a little bit because he's just such a horrible fucking human being. But it's like
the ABs of the world, huh?
This evil empire, like gravitational pull, like the goddamn Death Star. Organic home growth with the Chiefs, as opposed to Tom Brady just being Tom Brady and like not being able to stand losing. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm gonna pick the good guys here, and I think that's Kansas City.
I don't know who I'm picking at this point. Like
I'm just watching, yo.
I'm just watching. I just want to see a good game. I don't want to see anybody blown out. I just want to see a good game.
I just need to feel something, you guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because see, then I look at it this way to the point where, okay, let's say Brady wins it. Okay, and he rides off in the sunset. We all know Brady is the GOAT now. If he wins one more, is that going to hurt anything? To be honest with you, like, no. Nobody's going to pass him as GOAT status.
No.
In our lifetime, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to. If he wins, nobody's winning 7.
Look, KP said she want to feel something. She keep drinking that damn wine. She's gonna feel something.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Oh, interesting question though. From Twitter, Mike Davis will be a free agent. Should we pair him with Miles?
There's an idea.
I would get him anyway, but just me personally, I would love to have Najee from Alabama to pair with Miles.
Where you think he's going though? Like status?
What do you mean? You talking about Najee?
Yeah.
I don't even think he's the number 1 ranked back in the country.
So you think he's like 2nd or 3rd round?
I think he'll go 2nd or 3rd round. And seeing as though we had the 6th pick in the 2nd round, it's a strong possibility that
he'll
you know what I mean. Yeah, he'll be there. Even maybe to the 3rd round. You never know. Let's be clear. For those who are joining us for the first time, let's just be really, really clear. We like Miles Sanders, but we just don't think he's the guy. You know what I mean?
Killing me.
Yeah, he's the pretty thing, but that's just pretty much what it is. But yeah, to answer your question, Corey, I would get him. Check him out, but I still want somebody else younger. Possibly in this draft, if that's like I said, what I touched on earlier, one of the pros from Frank Reich's system, and me as a football player, the football player in me, I want to see somebody run the ball. I want to see him run the ball, and the quarterback's best friend when he's struggling is running the ball. So that's another way of fixing Carson.
I mean, you know we said that all year. Podcast number 4, probably. Like we've been saying that all year. Like, hey, he's struggling. Hand the ball off. Why are we throwing 40, 50 times a game? Hand the ball up a couple times, bro.
Right. So, predictions for the Super Bowl. Well, we heard yours, KP.
Let's see. Tampa Bay wins by, I won't go 38-35.
I don't care who wins. I'm just going to flip a coin and say Kansas City.
38 is aggressive, Wesley.
38-35.
38 or 38-35?
I said 38-35. Ain't nobody say nobody winning by 38. Wait a minute.
Yeah, there goes it. That's the problem right there. Look, she feeling something now.
I was like, what? Well, that's good. I got the Chiefs -3. So
in other news, something that will knock KP socks off: the Phillies signed JT Realmuto back.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not a real baseball fan, so this is your department, girly. Handle it.
Hi. So I'm gonna be our resident baseball fan. You guys stop laughing at me. So we are gonna slowly kind of transition into sort of talking about baseball as the spring comes around, and I'm probably gonna be talking weird things about you about the Phillies. You know, for our casual Phillies fans out there, I'm sure a lot of you guys are like, oh my God, sign JT. Like Bryce Harper says we should sign JT. JT Realmuto is a blockbuster trade for the Philadelphia Phillies. You know, 2 years ago when we were trying to sign Bryce Harper and Manny Machado and a bunch of other people that we didn't necessarily need, he said, and I quote, "We are prepared to spend stupid money in order to, you know, win the division and make a run in the playoffs," which we haven't done, obviously, since 2011. We have sucked since then. You know, so we started by signing Bryce Harper to a 13-year, like, I think like $132 million deal or something like that. Stop laughing at me.
I'm reading the comments.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Wow.
They said come through with the baseball. I'm just reading the comments.
Guys,
you don't have to fix your hair for that. I mean,
also, I'm just getting really warm at this time. Anyway, I have a Welsh corgi. Her name is Harper for Bryce Harper. So please hit her with that follow on Insta. Anyway. Wow, I like really need to calm down.
You're good to go, man. Have fun.
So, you know, John Middleton came out when we were going after Bryce Harper because we've just sucked for so many years. I think the Philadelphia Phillies, like, game fan attendance had gone down like 20% over the last like 3 or 4 years before we signed Bryce. So we kind of did this like make money and win quick gimmick by signing Bryce Harper. We signed Didi Gregorius and a few other big names, especially out of the NL. With that being said, we brought in JT Realmuto, I believe originally for like a 2-year deal from the Miami. Corey, my heart. Okay. I need to start. We signed him from Miami 2 or 3 years ago, right around the time that we signed Bryce, because we really needed a catcher because I'm getting really
hey, just check it out. Look, JT is who we should have signed. Re-signed a long time ago. Like, he's the best catcher in baseball, hands down. And if you want to argue that he's not the best catcher, he's top 3 hands down.
No, absolutely. So what I was originally going to say before I started geeking out was we had this horrible catcher. His name is Andrew Knapp, like literally just so bad. And we needed someone to throw to Aaron Nola, who is supposed to be our ace. And we're trying to build our pitching staff as we go, and it's going really badly. But, you know, development is key. So we signed JT Realmuto out of, you know, Miami, and he has flourished with us. He's had 2 of his season high batting percentages. I believe 148 hits per year, hits last year. And the year before he had like 136, something really high like that. He actually has the most put outs at second base of any catcher in the entire league.
Yeah, that motherfucker got a cannon.
Absolutely. And like I said, for casual Phillies fans, we're like, okay, sign JT. We have had a really tumultuous offseason with JT Realmuto because he wanted to come back to us originally right away. He was actually ready to sign a hometown deal. Joe Middleton and the Phillies front office, very similarly to Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles, fumbled the fucking bag and were like, hey, you know what? We want to test the market. We're not sure if we're going to stick with you. So JT Realmuto hesitantly entered the free agent market in MLB baseball. And we were like, holy fuck, like somebody else is going to pick him up.
Like the Yankees of the world that just go trick off all the money.
he actually entertained a few different deals. I know that one of them was from the New York Yankees. However, as of today, we signed him to a 5-year, $115.1 million deal.
God damn.
Yeah, 23.5 like a year or something like that.
Yes. And I believe there are incentives that weigh it on the back end. So if we make it farther into the playoffs later in his tenure, he gets increasing bonuses for whatever we make.
Hey, it's baseball. There's no salary cap. Spend away, yo.
Spend that goddamn.
There's no baseball. There's no salary cap. Yes, spend away. He also is receiving this contract a lot younger than a lot of the other famous catchers.
How old is he?
He's like 28.
Shit.
So Buster Posey.
He'll be 30 on March 18th.
Okay, so I was close. Buster Posey and Joe Mauer didn't receive deals like this until they were like 29 or 30 years old. And they actually are the two higher paid catchers in baseball history from JT Realmuto. He's in the top 10. I believe he's like actually top 3 as of. With that being said, a lot of people now are critiquing the Phillies because one of the major things that we were supposed to address this offseason, which we haven't yet, is pitching.
Pitching, right.
Including starting pitchers and closers. And as of right now, we've only signed 2 bums to the bullpen. So who's I can't really answer. But now you guys have a little bit of a breakdown of what's going on. This is a huge deal, and this is like awesome if you're a Phillies fan.
Shit, you told me some shit because the last damn catcher I thought the Phillies had was Chooch.
Nope.
Oh God. So, but no, just on the pitching thing, and I'll just put my 2 cents in. Like it all starts with Nola. Like he has to get back to form from 2 years ago. Like last year, we go watching the games. Like all right, Nola's on the mound. This is what we're doing.
That's what he's doing.
and that's what he's doing. Like, come on, man. So like
we got I watched a lot of I watched so when they came back because after COVID, I watched a couple Phillies games or whatever, and I noticed that we got the bats, we got the offense. The defense is just some bullshit. And then, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying all 9 positions. I'm talking about just the pitching. Like, we don't have a bullpen at all. And like, I guess this season taught me something about how important your bullpen is. You know what I mean? And especially if you're going into deep innings, you know what I mean? And just find some fucking pitches. Shit, the Eagles finding wide receivers from Walmart. God damn it, find some fucking pitches that work at the gas station or something.
No, I mean I agree, and I really think that that's why this JT signing is so big, and that's why I wanted to talk about it because in the way that he calls and frames pitches, he's actually really good at teaching young pitchers or developing pitchers. Like I don't even remember the bums that we used to have, but like Vince Velasquez, I know we still have. Even with Nola, he's super helpful. Who did we get from the Mets last year? Whose name I'm forgetting, but we've had a few younger pitchers come through our system, either through trades or through the farm system, that responded really well to JT's kind of training and him working with them. So it's pretty much like a coach on the field, you know, a man among boys kind of situation with JT. Very similarly to how, you know, we talk about Malcolm Jenkins and his influence on the Eagles defense and how he was just like such an adult in the room. That's what JT is for this young team, especially with a young infield with Reese Hoskins, you know, with Warriors, with Scott. Like he is that guy. And so even though we do have kind of like shitty pitching right now, I'm not saying he's going to save the whole damn pitching staff, but we're better off with him behind the plate than some Joe Schmo from the Reading Phillies. You know what I mean?
That's true. That is very, very true.
Like, if you look at like that lineup with Hoskins, Harper, and JT, like, come on now.
Was that the cleanup? Were they all 3 of those bat and cleanup?
No.
I mean,
go ahead.
Oh no, I was literally going to say pretty much like it always depend on the game and lineup, but normally It could be anywhere from Hoskins at 2, Harper at 3, and JT at
Yeah. That's what I was asking.
Or it could be 3, 4, 5. It all depends on the lineup. And it's like when McCutcheon, was in and wasn't hurt, like that leadoff was dope.
Well, let me ask you this though, KP, real quick, just to know how far is Kutch coming in? Does he look like he's coming back healthy?
So Kutch is coming back healthy. I think that we need to talk about his age because Kutch is now in his mid-30s. So
I'm tired of y'all motherfuckers talking about people in their mid-30s.
I'm sorry, but he's old and he tore his ACL. What do you want from me?
I'm old, not so am mine too.
Okay, want to go play left field for the Phillies?
Nah, I'm good.
See, thank you. Then if you want to do that, then we can have a conversation. But I genuinely think that Kutch is going to come back, be a coach on the field, coach in the bullpen for us because he has a huge leadership. It's so funny you mentioned him. He has a huge leadership kind of influence on this team. I wouldn't be surprised if we offer him a job in the front office when he decides to retire. And I think I'll take it, actually.
That's cool with me.
Hey, he Libra gang, so I don't care.
With that being said, Wes, it's really interesting to me, too, that because I wanted to talk about this offensively, it's really interesting to me, too, that you talk about how our first 4 in the lineup. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm 24. I'm just,
Yeah, baby.
I'm a child. It's fine. Me and Preston are, just still in our 20s. Wes, historically, it's so interesting to me that you pointed out how, when the Phils are good, they have this kind of top 4 in their lineup. Interestingly enough, and Gabe Kapler kind of fucked this up during his era, we always had changes in the lineup. People were in different orders. The last time that we had a solid and consistent top 4 was 2008, 2009.
What happened that season, KP?
World Series and a World Series appearance.
And Ryan Howard batted cleanup at number 4. That is the time that we had a consistent top 4 in our lineup, and look what the hell happened.
Hey, and then in typical Philly sports fashion, we overpaid for old-ass Ryan Howard. And
there's Achilles running to first base.
I will never forget that torn Achilles. I'm still okay.
Yeah.
But with that being said, historically, we need that anchor. We need that top 4 to actually get the bats moving. And they did last year. BG, you're totally right. We really just need the pitching, and that's all we need to put this team together.
But you look at 2008. Who were your aces? You had Cole. And then the following year you had, and then I think the following year they picked up what? Doc? Was that the year they picked up Doc? The following year?
I think we had Doc in 2008.
No, we had Doc in 08 too.
We had Doc in 08. He came in 09.
No. Doc, for real?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I just remember being in Philly for the World Series and hearing the fireworks.
He hit free agency. We brought him back like 2 days before Christmas, and they did the Merry Cliff Mitts t-shirts.
Okay, cool.
I was 12, so who knows?
Learn something new about baseball. Okay, so in other news, we're gonna wrap this shit up though. Last but not least, last week, because we didn't have a podcast last week, we got a new president and vice president, y'all.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally am happy, and I know that Joe Biden's the president, but you see a woman of color become vice president. That just shows me someone like my mom, someone like my sister, woman like KP can be whatever you want, because they always told you when you're in school you could be whatever you want when you grow up. But it got to a point where until Barack Obama and me and Wes being men of color, Barack Obama, we didn't believe it up until then. Now you got women like KP who can look and say, "Damn, I could be president, vice president, or president of the United States." You know what I mean? Like, I think it's good for everybody, man, to just look and tacky by 45 to just roll out to the theme of YMCA.
Yo,
Village people. That's what I said. You know what I mean? He rolled out before I fixed my damn grits for my breakfast that morning.
Yo.
Hey, wait. Before you go, KP, what'd you put in your grits?
Salt, pepper, butter. Sugar don't belong in grits.
My man. Go ahead, KP.
People put sugar in grits?
You'll be surprised.
God damn it, Gina.
So you'll be surprised how fucked up people are. I'm sorry if you are a follower and that you put sugar in your grits, but it's salt, pepper. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I mean, I can't really speak about, no, I can't speak anything about grits. Actually, I love shrimp and grits. Clyde has the best shrimp and grits. So anyway. Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak too much to this because I'm a white woman. I know,
but you're still a woman, though.
Hell yeah! I mean, Kamala becoming
the. Hold on. At least you didn't screw it up like Sotomayor.
I was about to say they'd be like Kamala.
Kamala.
I love the Karens who are like Kamala. Like it's not chamomile, bitch. Like what do you mean? No, I mean Kamala is absolutely giant for people of Jesus Christ. People of color, women of color, women in general. I, as a woman, am just, so empowered and so overjoyed. But I think, it's really important for Gen Z and, even the generation that's after them now, like these little girls who genuinely don't understand what it's like to not see women in power. And it's not even just, Kamala, it's Jacinda Ardern, New Zealand's prime minister. It's Angela Merkel, Chancellor of Germany. Like it's Theresa May, who was the old UK prime minister. All of these women are just, so empowering, so inspiring. Like that's giant and that's huge. And I know myself as a woman who went to school in DC very similarly to Kamala Harris and Howard, HU. And I, as a woman, alumna of a DC school, I feel a lot of, similar parallels with myself and Kamala. And I'm not trying to make this about myself as a white woman, but it is really inspiring, BG. Like you're right. And that's huge. And I do also want to just talk about how, this morning, I don't know if anyone watched it, but Kamala Harris swore in Janet Yellen, who is the first Secretary of Treasury who is a female in American history, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
But they had this just beautiful picturesque shot of, her being sworn in on the steps of the White House, and then she walks in the Department of Treasury to start the job that she is absolutely qualified for. It's really inspiring. And then, even my homie Joe, a Scranton man's,
Uncle Joe.
Listen, if Grandpa Joe is the only thing that can unite this country and maybe the Democratic Party right now, like I'm ready to see that unfold. I know today was like his big day of Equity Day, and he signed a bunch of executive orders about, folks and coronavirus relief for them. That shit's huge. And I feel like, and we feel like we've all been talking about shit like this, just the 3 of us, 4 of us, 5 of us with Chris and Dre.
Yes.
Stop, bro, stop.
Can I be on the cabinet?
Guys, I'll be 35.
Yeah, you gotta be 35. So that's why I said 2032. You got it. Come on now. I tutor math, yo. Like, come on now. I'm a little smart.
I didn't. If you said 2029, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
But another thing that united this country? Bernie Sanders.
The Bernie memes. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm meandering, but it's just like all of that representation. I feel like it's huge.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm just excited to see what this country is. It's gonna take work. Shit's not gonna happen overnight, but it's gonna happen. I will say this to the folks listening. If you're listen to us on iTunes, please give us a rating. Tell us that we're great. Tell us that we suck. Tell us something, and just show us how you feel. You know what I mean? Wes, tell them where to follow us at.
On all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. Is BIRDZ, the number 4, EVAMOBB, Birds Forever Mob.
That TC Williams education, boy.
Oh yeah. I was in the spelling bee back in 1985.
Oh my god.
I was only 2, but that's a different story.
Oh my god. Anybody got any final thoughts, man?
Just fix the shit, Birds. That's simple.
Right. Just fix it. Fix this shit.
Phillies, get us some pitching. Thanks.
Yeah, get some pitching too, goddammit. Yeah. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we out.